Hi, Chris Peterson here with Ryan, and just want to talk about open bridging situations today. Something we've seen a lot of, especially in the Auckland market over the last few years, is people who are not wanting to sell their current property before they purchase a new one, with the fear being that they may get locked out of the market for a period of time. So more and more we've seen people purchase the new property, then look to basically put the existing property on the market for sale. Do you want to explain maybe how the banks have tended to look at open and closed bridges?
So in terms of financing terms, you've got open and closed bridges. One which, being the open bridge, you have a property which you haven't yet sold. You present it to the new bank as a rental, and overall the position is that with the equity that you've got in both properties combined, you can usually fund the new purchase and basically hold all of the debt. The end intention is that you reduce the debt by selling the existing property that you live in. The closed bridge is pretty much the same scenario, except the house is already sold. So at that point, the bank will pretty much disregard the debt completely.
So the way that open bridges have tended to be looked at, as Ryan just implied, is where a lot of people have had issues is often holding two effectively owner-occupied properties. Even if one we get a rental appraisal, a lot of people can't meet the servicing requirements to be holding both, even though their plans is actually only to be in that situation for a very short period of time. So in some cases, we've been able to solve that with non-banks who are quite happy to maybe look at the transaction without taking serviceability into account, but that can be quite an expensive proposition. However, we are seeing some prime banks come up with solutions to this.
Basically, in the current market, what you've got to understand with these kind of deals is when you need to sell your home, you want to make sure that what you're budgeting on is actually what you sell it for. Auction clearance rates are quite a lot lower with major real estate companies such as Barfoot's at the moment being down to even about 30%. Realising that the numbers that we work with on our end and you overall will determine, your success of the transaction. So having accurate figures on this can be critical.
If you are potentially currently thinking about upgrading, downgrading your current residence into another house, bridging finance or a potential bridging situation may be something you need to look at. There is definitely differences across the banking spectrum. Some are much better than other options. We're seeing some which are flatly declining clients, so definitely feel free to give us a call to discuss your particular situation.